is shared out on Facebook.
And Brittany, again, as we said, it's a great night, and we hear so many that really want to know more about marketing and promoting their business. So I know it'll be something everyone's been looking forward to.
Good. I'm so excited. I was telling someone today, I'm an extroverted Enneagram 7, if that means anything to anyone. And so I just like I like new things. I like adventure. I like mixing it up always. And I said that's why marketing is perfect for me, because I get to be all these different businesses at one time.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we have nonprofits, we have for-profits, we have food clients, we have boutique shops. I mean, it's just so great. We get to like step into their world and then move on to the next thing. So
Exactly.
I'm excited. I'm excited to meet everyone, and it's so helpful marketing just kind of across the board for everyone. So I'm glad to talk about it.
Yay. Well, it looks like from my clock, it is 6 o'clock. So welcome everyone. So glad everybody's here tonight. Especially excited for our speaker, but this is the last class in the small business training series. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. From several that I've talked to, they've said, they've really taken a lot of good information from it. So we're so glad for that. And this will, tonight is the last night for the requirement of the small business training course as well. So once this is over at any time, and we can talk about it on the end, it's okay to turn your grant information in for the second part, those of you that are ready for that. But let's get started on what we've got tonight. We have Donalisa Stinyard on as well. She is our program director. And we're also going to be live on Facebook. So we will monitor questions there as well. For those, we always have new people as we open this to everyone. But those who aren't familiar with us, the Center for Women Entrepreneurs was funded in 2015 to help support women entrepreneurs anywhere in the state of Texas. And they thought, what better place to put that than at Texas Women's University? And so we help through small business advising, networking and training events like this, grants, and then research into women entrepreneurs and women in business. We are a part of the larger Jane Nelson Institute for Women's Leadership, which also houses the Center for Student Leadership and the Center for Women in Politics and Public Policy. So again, we're so glad to have everybody here tonight, and let's get this rolling then. Anything else? If there are any questions, send those to you, Donalisa.
Yep, or we can just
go from the chat.
Yep, go from the chat, and we can catch them for Brittany as we go through the presentation. So we're flexible.
Okay. We'll get those questions to you, Brittany. Okay, Brittany Garcia Dumas, owner of BGD Digital Marketing, is a marketing strategist from Fort Worth, Texas, with a degree in anthropology to marketing. I love that. And 5 years experience in the strategic marketing space. She has moderated numerous Q&As and led workshops in marketing and social media advertising. She is a proud Latino business owner, speaker, mother, and advocate for women. Her personal touch approach to small business marketing is backed by her charge to lead in women's empowerment, business strategies, modern marketing practice, and connecting with others through shared experience as a young woman in the corporate world. Brittany, we're so glad you're here. Welcome. I'll turn it over to you.
Hi, everyone. I've never had somebody read that out loud like that while I was here. Wow. So I actually have some slides. If I am I able to share my screen?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, I'm Brittany Garcia Dumas. I'm gonna talk about marketing tonight. We specialize in small business marketing. I'm gonna give you our links there in the chat. I would love to connect with you guys. I love teaching people about marketing, but mostly I really like advancing small businesses, especially women business owners. One time somebody called me a small business cheerleader, and I loved it. And so that really is my goal for you guys here tonight, is to take at least one thing away to help your business to be more profitable, to help you move in better capacity, and to change the world through your business. So I'm going to share my screen here. Let me see. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Everybody see that? We good? Awesome. Okay, so this is what we're going to talk about tonight, specifically about small business branding and marketing. So my absolute very favorite thing is to start at the very beginning with who you are, who your business is, and to build a strategy off of that. Because there are so many businesses in the world. Think about the business that you have and you know an immediate competitor in Denton or in Fort Worth or DFW. And so what you have to lead with is who you are, what your SKUs are, and what makes you proprietary. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how to have strategic marketing that is sustainable for you. We're going to speak a little bit about social media ads, and then how to tie all of that together. Now, I don't know the levels at which people are coming into this Zoom. Some people know a ton about internet marketing or social media marketing. Some people don't know anything. So this is really kind of a meet in the middle, basic knowledge of what this stuff is. If it's over your head, let's talk about it later. If it's, you're well beyond this, then, chalk it up to being just a smart and intelligent business owner. So here's a little bit about me, Brittany Garcia Dumas. We've already talked about that. That's where you can find the company on any social platform: Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, everywhere and anywhere. And then that is my handle. I'd love to be friends and grow our businesses together. These are the 4 things that we specialize in: social media management, graphic design, custom websites, and marketing consulting. So that is me. All right, we're going to kick it off. So this is my absolute favorite quote in life and in marketing by Albert Einstein. He says, if you can't explain it simply, you don't know it well enough. And so that is extremely important when it comes to your business. Concise verbiage about who you are, what you do, and the problem that your product solves is extremely important, because you know, as well as I do, you have about this much time to make a first impression with someone. They say that an internet user will spend 7 seconds on a website before they get bored. And so if somebody Googles your name and within 7 seconds they don't find out something intriguing about you, then you've lost them. And that time frame gets shorter and shorter and shorter as the years go by. So we're going to talk about how to know yourself so that you can amplify yourself in your business. The first thing is you want to know your brand, your colors, your fonts, your mood, and things like that. So every business has brand colors. Think about your products, think about if you have a logo, your website, if you have a candle making business and the majority of your candles are purple, then purple is your brand color. So what you want to think about as you're developing a brand to market your small business is, what am I trying to say with my brand? Am I trying to present a really soothing, calming atmosphere? Am I trying to present an edgy, tech-driven atmosphere? Those things will come across in the specific colors that you choose for your brand. The second thing is, what do you want customers to feel from your brand? So do you want them to feel at ease and at home? Do you want them to feel on the cutting edge of technology? What are you wanting? Because you're going to communicate that again through those colors. And then how do these colors point towards my services? So if you are like for instance, we had a school-based client who did nonprofit work in Atlanta through the public school system. Their colors were a lavender and a light blue, and it didn't really make much sense where they were going and the space they needed to go into. And so we changed their colors to be more school colors. So we gave her kind of a bright rainbow of colors to choose from so that it would make sense as she was going into the school sector that, oh, we see these colors here already. And so it automatically gets people thinking that you're a part of that brand, even when you're not. So this is the BGD logo. The reason that we went with these primary colors is because I wanted people to know that this is easy and accessible, that marketing through us isn't going to be a headache. It's going to be very easy to onboard, easy to understand. And then also I wanted people to know this is where you start. A lot of what we say at BGD is that we're the startup for the startup. So we brand small businesses at the very beginning and give them everything that they need. So we went with primary colors. Okay, if we have questions, I guess we could say them for the end. You do them in the middle. I don't know. I like talking to you guys. I feel it's funny to not have a conversation, but I'll keep going.
It's okay, we're listening.
Okay, good. I would love to hear your questions. We can absolutely save them for the end. But okay, the second thing is to know your assets. So you need to know what you're physically selling, which is not what you offer, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. So your assets are your 3 best products and services. So one of the main things that we ask our clients when we take them through what we call their marketing roadmap is we say what is working and what is not working. And so usually at least 3 things rise to the surface of programs that people have shown they really enjoy. And a product that's working doesn't just mean that you're making money from it. It means it's easy for you to create. The time that it takes is worth that time. The capacity to create it is something that you can take on. Something that you like doing. If there's a product that you have and you just loathe doing it every time, that product is not working, because that is not sustainable for you to continue on as a business owner to offer that service to people. So here's 3 examples from 3 clients that we have. One of them is an artist, so their first 3 tangible assets are prints, commissions, and extra large canvases that they use for commercial real estate and hotels. The second one is a bakery business. So their products and services that are working are markets. So when they go to like farmers markets, pretzel subscriptions, and then large corporate gifts. And then the third one is a dietitian out in North Carolina. She has one-on-one consultations, wellness classes, and strategic school partnerships where she partners with local schools to bring in dietary programming. So you can see here, these are tangible things that you're offering. So if you have a pen and paper, write down what are the top 3 things that are working. Things that are people have said that they enjoy, things that you have repeat customers for, and things you like doing, things you have the capacity to do. And a lot of times we say, these things are things that you would do for free if money didn't exist in the world, right? Everybody has that one product that they really like doing that they would probably do for free, but we're all here to make money and leave a family legacy and things like that. So write down your 3 top products and top services, and then we'll talk more about those in a second. So we need to know your brand colors, you need to know your assets, and then you need to know your message. Those are the 3 core foundationary things that you need to know to market your business. Before I can even give you a here's how to do it, best practices, we have to start with who are you, what is best about you, where do you want to go? So when it comes to your message, this is your 30-second elevator pitch. I'm sure you guys have heard this before. So I do this for these people through these special services, and this will be particular to each one of you. So here's those 3 case studies again, the artist, the bakery, and the dietitian. So I'm an abstract painter specializing in large scale art for corporate businesses. So immediately people will know, am I their target audience or not? And do I know someone who is their target audience or not? For the bakery, we are a local German bakery bringing the feeling of home to your kitchen through fresh made pretzels. We do this for these people through these special services. And then our last one, I'm a registered dietitian. I provide wellness navigation for women in 5 ingredients or less. That's her whole or overarching thing in her programs is 5 ingredients or less. So when somebody asks you, oh, you're a business owner, what do? You should automatically have that 30-second elevator pitch ready to go. So here is BGD's. We are a comprehensive small business branding company from logos to social media management. So what I say, I speak at chamber events all the time. And I say, hi, my name is Brittany Garcia Dumas. I own BGD Digital Marketing. We're a comprehensive small business branding agency from logos to social media management. We want everyone to believe in the American dream through sustainable branding. Ta-da! That's it. Sometimes I'll throw in small businesses from 0 to 5 years of life so that they know exactly which business falls into that. So that's my elevator pitch. Write this down. What do you do, for who, through which special services? And you can find something that flows and feels really good. And once you start saying it over and over, you'll get a rhythm to it. You'll be able to smile when you say it instead of being really robotic about it. But a way to shortcut, just like Albert Einstein said, if you can't explain it simply, you don't know it well enough. And so this is you explaining your business simply. Okay, so we've talked about knowing ourselves. We know our brand colors. If we don't know them quite yet, we have some questions we're going to ask ourselves. What do my products look like? What do I want to say? What do I want my customer to feel when they experience my branding or my products? I know what my top 3 SKUs are. I know what my top 3 services are. And now I know my company's 30-second elevator pitch. I do this for these people through these special services. So now you know yourself. Now we're going to take that and illuminate it. So in strategic marketing, the biggest thing that we do is the subtle art of building a brand. So we're going to sell without selling. Everybody knows that company who is just sell, 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 or somebody who started a business who's just sell, sell, sell. And sure, maybe they catch some people with that. But when you can build a narrative that people latch onto, you can automatically get people saying yes to you, yes to your products, yes to your services, and they feel a connection with you. Because again, there's 1 million painters in the world. There's 1 million candle shops. There's 1 million women's boutiques. What we're doing is we're building a narrative off of what is proprietary about you and your business, and that's going to give you a solid brand identity that people want to give money to. So let's talk a little bit about this. You're going to sell without selling. You're going to tell people exactly who you are and what you do, and then we're going to make it easy for our customers to purchase from us. So remember how I said before, you have services. This is what you provide. Well, now we're going to talk about what you offer. So those are 2 very different things. So what you offer is the problem that you solve for people. So you have your main SKUs. Now think about what problems are these solving for people? And I'm sure that, this German bakery company can say, we're not solving world hunger here with these pretzels. We're not doing any kind of grand political statement with these pretzels. But the problem that they solve is a lot of people want a convenient dish for Thanksgiving, or a lot of people want something that is local to Fort Worth that they can give to their employees for Christmas or something like that. So those are the kinds of things every business has a problem to solve. So these are the BGD SKUs. We have social media management, graphic design, website design, and consulting. And here are some of the problems that small business owners have when they go to look at their marketing. So they say with social media, it is too difficult to understand. All of this stuff, I'm busy doing everything it takes to run my business. Everything social media is just too difficult to understand. They also say, I don't have enough time to get in there and do this the right way, the way that I want to do it, right? Because through your marketing, what you're really trying to do is just honor the hard work that you've already put into it. They also say, how do I know if I'm doing this the right way? Everything is too difficult to understand with social media, with marketing, with branding. I don't even know if I put forth my effort, if this is actually helping or hurting, or if it's worth it. And then they also say, I feel like I can't trust anyone with my brand. They're a small business. You've worked really hard to get to this point, and it's difficult to let go of the reins sometimes, to contract out some work. So this is here at the bottom is part of how we solve that problem. So we say that BGD digital marketing frees up a business owner's time by being a one-stop shop for online marketing. I know how hard you've worked because I've worked hard too. I know buyer psychology because I spent years learning how people work. And I know how to take care of your business because I'm a dreamer too. Earlier, Tracy mentioned that I have a degree in anthropology. So going from anthropology to marketing is kind of an interesting leap. However, I got my degree in knowing who people are and how they work. And all I had to do was say, now how do I sell to them? And it's actually extremely helpful to have a degree in anthropology when you're in marketing, because if you know how people work, you know how to sell to them. So think about in your business, what problems are you solving with those 3 main SKUs that we mentioned earlier? And this is just kind of a prompt to say, what problems are you solving? And then we're going to build a marketing strategy off of that. So another thing that you need to do is come out and tell people. A lot of times businesses feel like I'm saying the same thing over and over and over. Yes, you are. And that's the point, because nobody is as close to your business as you are. So even if you show up on social media or in email marketing or YouTube or whichever, and you're saying the same things over and over, to you it's like, man, I've said this one thing about my pretzels 15 times, but a consumer has an entire life that does not involve you. They have a whole myriad of problems and thoughts and stuff. And so maybe out of those 15 times that you say something about your pretzels, maybe one of those things gets through. So that's the idea with, you need to come out and tell people who my business is, what you do, and how you use my product. So here are some of the things that we talk about as far as forward-facing marketing and branding for your social media, your website, your email marketing. What you want to do is you want to show smiling faces in action. You want to show environments that people want to be in, right? If it makes sense for your product to be at a beach, girl, show that product at a beach, because people want to be at the beach. They want to be with their family. They want to be with their friends. They want to be in these environments. So if you can plug in your product into that environment, you're immediately telling them, this is how you use this. And look at how happy you'll be when you use this. Whenever you write in your verbiage, when it comes to like a social media caption or a website, we're going to write things that entice people. So for pretzels, we're going to say hungry. Our pretzel subscription arrives at your door every month. So immediately you're telling people, I know you have a problem. Here is how I solve it. This art is ideal for a hotel lobby. So immediately people are putting your product in their mind somewhere. They know a friend who owns a hotel. They know they themselves own a hotel. They know a boutique hotel in Granbury or something. They're immediately putting their product somewhere in their atmosphere. And that's what you want to do. You want to take your product and put it into someone else's atmosphere in their brain so that it's synonymous. Your product goes here in their life, and you keep saying it over and over until they purchase your product and actually put it there. The last thing that we have on here is it's okay to be real, but remember to stay true to your brand message. This is a question that I get asked all the time, especially people who are solopreneurs, is how do I remain authentic and honest and real without, crying on the internet every day? So we just say, be real, speak from a scar and not a wound, right? Speak from something that has healed. We're going to talk about, the beginning of my business was rough and I had to do these things, but look at how far this business has come. We're so thankful for our clients. So things like that are real, but stay true to that brand message that you're trying to put forward. Okay, so we sold without selling. We told people how to utilize things. And so now we're going to make it easy for people to find you and access your product. So we're going to speak specifically about social media here. We could do this whole thing over again in an hour with just websites or with just email marketing. But here we're going to just focus on social media. So I'm going to tell you how to optimize this potential and then give you an example of how to do that. When you're on social media, if you, let me reverse. If you don't have a business social media, you need to get one. You at least need to have the handle so that somebody else doesn't take it before you, right? It's kind of like trademarking something on a social platform. Also, we say all the time as far as social media goes, the point isn't to be famous on every social platform. The point is to have every social platform. And that is so you are showing up everywhere that your consumer is being entertained. When people are entertained, it's so much more easy for them to say yes to your product. So Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, Pinterest, Twitter, all of those things. You don't have to regularly post to those things. If Instagram is your jam, Instagram is what you really like doing, what you have capacity for, then let that be the one thing that you post to most frequently. But add a couple of things to Facebook every now and then. Add some pins to a Pinterest. Once a month even, post something to LinkedIn, just so that where your ideal client is, if they're like, oh, I'm talking about this German pretzel shop and they're on LinkedIn, they can immediately send that to a friend, or they can immediately tag that pretzel shop in their LinkedIn. That client doesn't love LinkedIn, but they're there, and that's the point. So when you're on social media and you have all of your business profiles, because we're going to do that today after this conversation, we're going to get all of our business profiles for your business. One, tag every relevant account shown. So I keep going back to this pretzel company because it's easier. When they're at a farmer's market, they're tagging themselves. They're tagging the farmer's market. They're tagging Pantego Eats. So Pantego is like a small town within Arlington. They're tagging, Arlington, Texas local businesses or whichever. They're tagging every account that is relevant to that photo. They're also putting on geolocations. Geolocate every single post that you have, even if the geolocation is just Denton or Texas Women's University. What this is doing is that it is optimizing your reach and letting one post go in several different directions, trying to catch as many people as possible. Hashtags. Facebook just came out the other day and said 3 to 5 maximum. Now I know that you can use, I think it's up to 30. But if Facebook says do it, I try to stay within what Facebook says because they get a little finicky and fussy sometimes. So 3 to 5 relevant hashtags. Remember when you're adding in a hashtag for your business to tag what your client is looking for, not necessarily what is in your brain. So for instance, with a painter, like abstract minimalism art may not be what their ideal client or end consumer is looking for. They might be looking for something like hotel art or wall decor or local Fort Worth artist. So as you're adding in these hashtags, ask yourself who, what, when, where, why, and what would your end consumer be looking for? Not necessarily what you are looking for. One of the pitfalls of this strategy is that people will tag something very, very specific about their product, and then you'll only get your competitors following you. So when artists tag something like abstract minimalist art, they end up getting a lot of other artists that see that post. And that's not bad, but you're not trying to sell art to another artist. You're trying to sell art to an art buyer. So that's something to remember. The fourth thing that you can do is graph out your content subjects. And we're going to talk about this in our example. When we onboard a social media client, we manage 56 social profiles right now for people across the United States. When we onboard them, we give them social media themes, which are 6 to 9 themes that speak to their business. And that is what we say over and over and over again. And we don't stray from those themes. We only say those exact things because we're building that brand awareness. Now, let me give you an example of that. This is our month in review that we send to all of our social media management clients, and it will showcase their themes. So this is actually an art gallery, and you'll see here they have artists that they represent called the Impermanent Collection. So you see that here. IPC, that's what it is here. So see, we're saying these things over and over. Here's a behind the scenes about the curator. Here's a behind the scenes about the gallery. So we plot out all of these posts for your business, and we make sure that we say the same thing over and over and over. And you can see this client posts to Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. They've actually gone up to 5 posts a week on 4 social platforms. So they're really putting stuff out there. This is an example of how we curate their posts. So we add a CTA, we add information about the post, or we add an attention grabber, we add information about the post, and then we add a CTA. Now this you can see was made back in June or July. So we have a ton of hashtags here. But this is how we do it. And you'll see here Thursday at 3 p.m. or Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and this just goes according to when it's the best posting time. A question that I get asked a lot is, when is it best to post on social platforms? Truly, there really isn't a best time to post. Truly, the best way to spend your time is to hone in your narrative. I would say 9 a.m. every day during the weekdays is the best time. That's also a really competitive time. So 6 and 1 is really my thought on that. And then one of the questions that we said before that our clients ask us a lot, one of the problems that we solve is, how do I know that this is working? So what we do is we created this, which is their analytic report for all their social profiles. And we tell them this is how all of your posts performed within the last month. So this is just another way that we are solving the problems for our clients. Okay. So next, we're going to talk about social media ads. I know we're just like going and going and going here. We're going to do a brief overview of ads, specifically about social media ads. We all know that there is organic reach that you can have through websites, email marketing, social media, all sorts of stuff that you can have for your marketing. But in the year of our Lord, 2021, sometimes you have to pay to play because it's such a competitive space. Now, I will tell you that all of our social media packages come with an ad, but it is a $25 ad strategy. And so don't think that you have to start off at some crazy, insane high number to advertise your business. We've had people with us for almost 2 years now, and it's only $25 a month, and it gives us exactly what we need. So social media advertising is the most user-friendly, and we're going to talk about some options here. Google Ads and analytics are useful for a lot of websites. If anybody's familiar with your Pixel or anything like that, you can track how people are moving from Google to your website. There's also search engine optimization, so there's lots of stuff here. but it's slightly more difficult to understand, and it requires more of your time, which as a small business owner, you've got about this amount of time for marketing. And so I'm going to help you optimize this amount. Facebook business makes it easy to become the advertising agent that you don't want to pay. On Facebook advertising, so Facebook owns Instagram. We all know this. So when you run Facebook advertising, you're able to send your ad to so many different places. Marketplace, stories, you can advertise within groups that you're not even a part of. Of course, posts, Instagram stories. Now you can advertise in reels. So like as people are just watching reels, your ad will eventually come up. So Facebook advertising gives you the biggest bang for your buck. You can choose how much you want to spend at one time or how much you want to spend over a period of time. So in the next month, I want to spend $25 on Facebook advertising, and that's going to send it to all those places that we just talked about. You can choose your age, location, gender. There is no non-binary gender within Facebook, unfortunately. You have to choose male or female. And as far as I know, on profiles, you have to choose male or female, but that is an option for you to decide which way you want your ad to go. And then you can also get into interests. So people who, you can say people who own a business Facebook. These are the type of people that I want my ad to go to. So you've got some options here for who you want your ad to go to. You can choose your level of skill. Instagram ads, which is boosting your posts. I'm sure a lot of you have seen that option if you have a business Instagram. It's easy to do through the app, and it will give you basic analytics. This is where I recommend all small business owners start. I highly, highly recommend, if you haven't run a small business ad yet for your business, take $25, $30, $15, and just boost a post and see the data that you get. What we call that a lot is we call that active data. So we can strategize and analyze all we want about how we think this business is going to do in the real world, but ultimately you have to send it out and let it touch real people to see how they're going to respond. So boosting that post or Instagram ads is a great way to get active data. And it gives you some analytics that lets you know, okay, how did this perform? How did this do? Facebook business ads is what we talked about before. You need to set up a Facebook business account. You also need an ad account. A Facebook business account is different than a Facebook business page. So there's more things that you need here, but there is a lot of customizable variables and more of a bang for your buck as far as social media advertising goes. Then you can also go the Google ads, or like I said, search engine optimization, things like that. That gives you really good analytics. It lets you know exactly who is coming to your site, when they're coming, you know, everything but almost why, you know, straight up asking them, why are you going to this company? Everything short of that. Google ads will do that. But this is something that we don't even do as a company because it's so time intensive. It's so data intensive that, I mean, people, this is somebody's whole career to run Google ads. So these are the levels that you can choose from as far as starting your small business advertising. So a brief overview of kind of what we've talked about. Before you can market your business, you need to know your business. So know your brand, know your message, know your assets, know what problem you're solving. You also need to sell without selling. So you're going to build that narrative. You're going to tell people the problem that you solve, what you offer, not what you sell. You're going to design out your social posts, design out some of these things that you can automate beforehand, and then use advertising dollars to really pack a punch on all this hard work that you've already put into fruition, I guess, everything that you've put into play. And then you're going to put advertising dollars into it so that you can really level it up and see how it does over and over with more targeted audiences, more real specific end consumers that you really want to reach. And then you just kind of do it over again. You analyze, okay, now that we've done that, is our message still on brand? Are we still solving problems? Do we still have the same assets? Yes, we're good. How's our brand narrative? How are our social posts? How's the website? How's the messaging? Good. Now we're going to put more advertising dollars, and you just keep going like that. So that is my very quick drinking from a fire hose marketing advice. I would love to know what questions you guys have.
So the first question that we had was from Renita, and she asked, is there a website or resource that provides color palettes for branding for different kinds of sectors?
That's a great question. So is there a place I can go that will give me a color palette for my specific business?
I think more just a color palette, yeah, I guess to choose from, yeah.
So Canva is really good at this. Canva can give you some really good templates. I'm going to go back here to the beginning. Canva can give you some really good options as far as which colors go together. What I would do is I would spend time with some of those questions we asked at the very beginning. Who are you? What problem do you solve? What are your products? Then get the mood and the feel and the narrative of your business, and then pick a color palette from there. But Canva is a really great resource. Something else I will say is that your end consumer is you 5 years ago, today, and 5 years from now. So when you're thinking about your end consumer, 99% of the time they're you, just in a different body. And so what colors do you like? What colors do you decorate your home with? What colors do you wear? What colors make you feel like you want to purchase a product? Examine the last 10 products that you purchased that weren't necessary. They were fun purchases. And what colors are their brands? Those are probably that's the color palette that you want to go with for your business.
Awesome. Okay, so the second question was from Sarah. Hold on one second, everybody's. Is it necessary to post every day? I've heard some say yes, and others say it isn't necessary.
So that's a great question. We do have clients that post every day. All of our packages start at 2 posts a week. And in my professional opinion, that's enough to get it rolling. The question that you want to ask first is, what do you have the capacity to do? So if you have the capacity to post every day and you like it and you like doing it and it's sustainable, then yeah, post every day, girl. But if for you posting feels like a chore and it's just, you dread it and it drags you behind and it stops you from actually creating your product, then just go to 2 posts a week. That's really kind of the baseline lowest level that we recommend. Because what you want is branding that is sustainable, that's just going to keep going and give you that consistency. So ask yourself, what do you feel comfortable doing? What do you have the capacity to do?
Definitely consistency over quantity.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Tamara wanted to know, she has a Facebook business page. What's the benefit of changing over to the other program you mentioned? I think it was the Facebook ad or Facebook business ads or something.
Sure. So it's all the same thing. You wouldn't switch over. You have a Facebook business page. And then on the back end of Facebook, whether you know it or not, that business page has a whole kind of like business marketplace. You may have seen that when you can go to business.facebook.com, and that will show you all the back end of your business. So you have your Facebook business page, and that will give you a Facebook business account. So the account is really kind of the nitty gritty of where people are spending money, all this kind of stuff. Then you also have a Facebook business ad account, and that's how you're going to run ads. So those 3 things are all a part of your one business. Having a business, Facebook business account and a Facebook business ad account that is what's the behind the scenes of that, but it's all the same thing.
Great. And then Chantel wanted to know, what is a good price point for social media marketing 3 times per week?
That is a great question. It depends on what you want. It depends on if you want to go with a company like us, or if you have a friend who knows things about social media. I'll tell you that our packages that are 2 posts a month on 4 social platforms, including a social media ad and the ad analytics, start at $4.97 a month. So that's to run your 4 social platforms, consistently putting out content, and then having an ad that runs every single month. Ours start at $4.97. And I know that there are companies out there that will charge you so much more. You really, my advice is to sit down with them, have a consultation. We offer free 30-minute consultations to everybody, and figure out who you vibe with is what I want to say the most, but who feels like a good match for you, who you feel like will really take care of you, and then move forward from there.
And so we've had a couple questions about the tools that you would recommend to stay organized and consistent with social media marketing.
That's a great question. So there are so many out there. None of them are bad, in my opinion. Everything is just, which do you like the most? So we utilize a program called Loomly, Loomly. They are a paid service. And because, like I said, we have 56 accounts that we're running, we pay a hefty premium to utilize their services. But there are free services that you can use. So there's an app that I love called Preview. Now, Preview is not going to post automatically for you, but what I love about Preview is you can plug in posts ahead of time, you can move it around, and Preview gives you a ton of caption templates. And I think there's a free version, and then there's another version that's like $10 a month or something like that. There's also a few others, like Plan is one, Later Media has one. So there's several out there that you can access. Some of them are more photo heavy, some of them provide more analytics. Some post automatically for you, some don't. I know with the free Preview app, they'll just send you a banner notification that says, hey, it's time to post. So you can access a social media scheduler at any price point.
And then have your clients been going nuts with the Instagram, Facebook merge, and then Meta being thrown in? It's driving me nuts trying to figure out all the weird new bells and whistles and quirks.
That's a great question. I mean, Facebook and Instagram merged a long time ago, and so there isn't really there isn't any effect here. And a lot of our social media management clients, we're Facebook support to them, and so they don't have to worry about those things because we take care of it for them. So, as far as the metaverse goes, in my personal opinion, it's a couple years off from being something that people heavily utilize and are able to have a good user interface with. I do absolutely think that it is the future of social media, advertising, marketing, everything like that. And it's something that I am keeping an eye on and how to interact with that as a company. But from an end user standpoint, you got some time.
So do we have any more questions? I have one for you, Brittany, only because I kind of know some of your backstory and stuff. So what do you do when you specifically like Instagram, when some of the gosh, what do you call them, like reels and that kind of stuff? What do you do when that stuff isn't available to you yet? Because a lot of times social or Instagram will roll that out. And I mean, it's interesting, like for the CWE, I have music, but for my own personal Instagram page, I don't have music.
Mhm.
So how do you, what is some tips that you can give for people to get around some of that stuff?
You know, prayer. It's so extremely frustrating. And what Donalisa is talking about is I actually had a social media, my own personal social media, and I ended up having to close that account that I had had for years and open a new one because they wouldn't give me reels. And this was about a year ago. I run a social media company. I have to have this asset to tell all of my clients how to make reels for their business. And so it's really discouraging. I used every Facebook poll that I had, every Facebook connection that I had saying, how can I get this fixed? And ultimately, they ended up saying that I had a restriction on my account, that it wasn't going to come back ever, and that the issue was resolved. And so it was extremely frustrating. And unfortunately, that is the risk that we sign up for when we utilize these free apps. And so that's why it's so important, if you're running a business, to have all of those social media handles that I talked about, so that you can push content to all of those other arenas, as well as an email marketing list, as well as your website, as well as in-person networking events where you're telling people about your business. I mean, the tactical answer is contact Facebook support. If you have a week and a half to spare, you have nothing else going on. But other than that, all I can offer is solidarity, and that I know it's really frustrating, and sometimes it just be like that. I don't know why.
Yes, it was very interesting. Jennifer asked, what's the best way to use the free version of LinkedIn besides posting daily to network with friends of friends?
The best way to use it. I would add it to your email signature for sure. I would, when you're connecting with somebody over an email, or somebody that you know is a business professional connection, you can hyperlink your name and any emails that you send to them, and you can add in your LinkedIn there. LinkedIn is great in that you can list your education, your job experience, what you're proficient in. You can also, in case you don't know this about LinkedIn, you can also get people to verify your skills. So it's a great professional connection. So leading with that at any time when you're making a professional connection that you haven't made yet is a great idea.
So Doris asked, how do you do email marketing? And that's, there's not enough time this evening to discuss that. It's for sure. But you can go to our YouTube channel. In 2020, we had, he's actually a professor here at TWU in the College of Business. He actually did we did a Women Rise on email marketing. And he gave a lot of really great information, so you can check that out. Do you have any social media influencers you can recommend that can help with posting?
Yeah, so this is another question that I get a lot. And so I say that to say, I can absolutely see where you would have that perspective. Social media influencers are not marketers. Social media influencers have done a great job at running their own social media in their own time, how they want to, when they want to, but that does not make them experts in marketing. And so I say that having lots of friends who are social media influencers. I love them and adore them, but I have actually had friends who were influencers and thought they could be a marketing company, started a marketing company, and they realized that there's so much more than what they anticipated. So what I would do instead of reaching out to influencers is I would use that link that I sent you and schedule a free consultation with us, or any other marketing. You can Google DFW marketing company or agency and find somebody who knows how to market your business well, not just an Instagram account that they personally own.
Jessica had a question. What is the best way or platform to sell a service?
That's a great question. You want to, these are all really great questions. There are questions that you want to ask before that. So you want to ask, who's your end consumer and where are they? How old are they? What do they like to do? Are they more of a Facebook person or an Instagram person? Where do they spend their time being entertained? Are they more on LinkedIn? Are they more on Pinterest? So according to who your end consumer is and the product that you're selling, there's a social media out there for those people.
Yeah. I know you said it's essential to be on social as a business. When you have a brand that requires founder to be in front of the scene but hates social media, what is the best way or tips to get there and get over that and start being front and center?
These are such good questions. People ask me this all the time. So you're in good company. And I actually felt this way as well when I first started the BGD brand. And it's solved by me telling you this. There are, like I said, a million competitors that you will have in your business. You, who asked this question, what was your name?
It's AA.
Okay, you, AA, whoever you are out there, you are what is proprietary about your business. You will not be able to be competitive unless you lead with yourself. Because, like we said before, your ideal client is you 5 years ago, today, and 5 years from now. So any moment that you're not leading with what is proprietary about your business, which is you, your personality, your expertise, you're not competing in the business sector. So I know that that's hard. I know that you may not want to put your face on the camera. I think asking yourself some questions like, why don't I want to be front of camera? Why do I feel nervous to tell people that this is my brand? There was a lot of therapy work that went into me starting the BGD brand. And so ask yourself those questions, because if you're not going to lead with yourself, you're not going to lead with what's proprietary, and that's not going to make your business competitive in the industry.
So Jessica wanted to know, is selling over the phone still a thing, or is this too old and doesn't work anymore?
That's a good question. I don't answer phone calls from numbers I don't know. So there's that. Text message marketing is a huge business. I know a lot of businesses who do text message marketing. The only reason we don't is because we put more of our capacity into other funnels. But if you're going to do something like that, I would recommend text message marketing as opposed to cold calling.
Awesome. All right. Do we have any more questions? I did put that YouTube channel or that YouTube link in there for the email marketing. And then you can also, there's a lot of free resources out there about email marketing. There's just not enough time tonight to even crack that one open. So do we have any other questions? Awesome. Thank you, Brittany. So good. I will hand it back to Tracy.
Thank you so much, Brittany. That was a lot of really great information and so helpful. So we're glad you're here tonight. Thank you so much.
Of course, it was so great to talk to you guys. And I'm serious, let's connect via any social platform. Just put my name in there and we'll be friends. Donna Lisa and I chat all the time in Instagram DMs. So I love being a part of people's small businesses. I love being in your corner. And like I said, if it's something that you want to move forward with, we offer a free 30-minute consultation. I'd love to just hear about your business. So I'm rooting for you. You can do it.
Hey, Brittany, you want to put your social media in the chat again? We've had a couple people ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, great. And while she's doing that, do any of you guys have any questions now about the grant or what you need to do next?
Hi, Miss Ira. This is Tamara. I do
Hi,
have a
Tamara.
question about, I have a question about how long we'll have access to Live Plan. It's really an awesome resource.
Oh, you can have it forever if you're using it, or as long as we still have it.
Oh, great. I thought it was limited. That's awesome.
No, yeah, we pay for it. So, I mean, as long as we have it, you're welcome to use it. We did increase our number this year. And so did you get everything answered yesterday, figured out that problem?
Yes, ma'am. Those videos were very helpful and I was able to understand that part. Thank you.
Great.